guys, Vicious Vox here, and I'm here with Robbie Smeyers from Human Vivisection. I know it's been a long time since I've done an interview, but this time I brought a new guest, very special guest. Hey Robbie, how's it going? It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, man. It's a pleasure to be here. It's going pretty well. How about yourself?
Yeah, been busy lately with rearranging everything. You can see I have a new background and everything on the channel. I still expect a lot of new stuff going on. So, Robbie, how everything started? Like, I saw you in Loris Nobilis like 2 weeks ago or something. And yeah, amazing concert, man. From what I heard, you're new in the band, right?
Yeah. It's I've only been a member from in Human Vivisection since like I think March, February, around that time. It's not really very official, but it's very recent. It's pretty cool.
All right. But it's not very official, but it's supposed to be a permanent thing? You're gonna stay in the band?
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
It's just like the date isn't really very official. It's just like we played a show with one of my other bands, Hersendold, that has one of the same guitarists as Human Vivisection, Cedric. And the other guitarist, Roy, who you probably know as well.
Yeah.
He knows everyone for some reason. Yeah, it's insane. He was also at that show to come check out and see if I was good enough for Human Vivisection. He wasn't sure, which is fair enough because that was like my second show ever, so it wasn't that good.
Yeah.
But since then, I've just been in contact with him and eventually got me into the band and all of that, and now we're here. Now I played in Portugal, Loris Nobilis. What the fuck?
Well, it was an amazing concert. Even though you guys were on a very early schedule, but you still managed to get the crowd moving. That's always amazing.
Yeah, I was genuinely surprised how much movement there was for it being like 5 p.m.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. I thought it was going to be dead, but glad to see that people were enjoying it.
Well, to be honest, I kind of was hyping up everyone in the pit. Because
you could tell you were like the most active one. I think I've looked at you multiple times during the show as well.
Well, that's when I like what I'm hearing. Like I tend to be quite hyped. Yeah, that happens.
Hell yeah, we love that. It's amazing, especially if you play live. To have people who are actually like actively enjoying it.
Yeah.
There's so many people who just stand still with their arms crossed, and you're like, why are you even here?
Exactly, man. Like
I mean, it's nice, but Jesus, move.
Yeah, I understand perfectly because I also have a band like, and I feel like you probably will agree with me. Like sometimes like the energy of the crowd can really help out with your performance. Like sometimes like
Definitely.
When you have a good crowd, your performance just goes another level.
110%. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Like the day before we played in Barcelona, I've never just played in front of my stage, and I did then because it was just too small. And holy shit, was that fun! Everyone's just like in the pit together with you while you're doing vocals. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane, and the energy just makes it so much better. I think that's the best show we've played so far. It's crazy to me. It really is.
All right.
Energy of the crowd does so much. It really does.
All right. So we're gonna go a bit into the past, and can you like tell us a bit how did you start doing extreme vocals, and what inspired you to start doing it?
God, that's a really good question. I don't really exactly remember everything from when I started. I started when I was like 14, 15. It's like the immediate point where my balls dropped, I started like, yeah, let's do vocals. Yeah, it's insane. What did I get into first? I think I got into Elena Sigman, the tracks that they made for the Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies.
Mm-hmm.
I really got into those by playing Black Ops back in the day. And since then, I've just been getting into Korn and then eventually Gojira.
Right.
And from Gojira, I just went to shit. I started, like, singing with Gojira. It was really fucking bad. Like, really, really bad, technically and sound-wise.
Yeah.
But I think everyone starts there, and eventually I just started working more on the actual techniques. I got into a monomorph after a while, which taught me to get into the low gutturals, for example. And then from there on, just went downhill. Now I'll make Caveman Slam. It's insane.
Yeah, for real.
It's fucking
like,
stupid.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's the fucking journey. Like that's what we were saying. Like everyone starts sounding like shit. That's how everyone starts.
Exactly.
Like I've never seen someone starting and actually sounding decent. There can be like people that have like a easier start and can learn a lot faster than others. That's normal, but everyone sounds like shit in the beginning, and that's what everyone has to put in their mind. Like in the first months or sometimes the first year, you're gonna sound like shit.
I sounded like shit the first 3 years. Like it really takes time sometimes.
Yeah.
I had no clue what I was doing. Like nowadays you have like a ton of videos that you can
True.
find and shit to like improve a lot. And back then kind of as well, but there's a big difference between now and like 10 years ago when it comes to clear videos on how to deal with your voice and how it should feel like.
Yep.
It's a big difference, and I'm glad that it exists, because otherwise you end up like me being like doing the same stupid shit for 3 years and not sounding all right till after that.
Yeah, I understand perfectly, and I've been through the same. I took like, I don't know, 2 to 3 years also to sound at least decent.
Yeah,
But-
exactly.
Yeah,
I had the same thing.
yeah, like at least have a bit of confidence to show someone like, hey, I can do extreme vocals. Look at this. But because before I felt like I was just like a fucking retard screaming, literally.
Yeah, same, totally, same.
So like,
I've had that for a very long time. I'm not really. I'm surprised that I'm playing in a band as a vocalist. Frankly, I'm not the type of guy to put myself in the spotlight in any way normally. So it's just like very mentally having to be prepared when we play shows and shit, because I'm just like, I don't like people.
fucking hell, yeah, I understand perfectly, man. Yeah. But like when we get on stage, it's a whole nother thing.
It's a different personality. You just shut your mind off. You let someone else play in your head, so to speak. It's like playing a character. It really is what it is.
Indeed, that's what I tell a lot of people. They're like, I don't even recognize you when you're on stage. Well, that's
Yeah,
what
me
it's
neither.
supposed to be like. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So like, speaking about your beginning, so you've learned a lot by now. So you probably have a vocal training process, like to prepare for shows or everything. So can you explain a bit how it was, your learning process, and how you developed the style that you use nowadays?
Honestly, I don't do a lot of that. I just fuck around and find out a lot. I really just fuck around and find out. It's I don't know what I'm doing either. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
I just make weird angry noise and people like it. And as long as it keeps sounding good and not feeling bad, I'm all for it, friend.
That's the most important thing. Sounding good and not feeling bad. That's if you feel safe and you sound
drink
good,
a lot of water.
all right. Keep on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And just drink a lot of water. If it feels shit, stop. If it doesn't feel shit, keep going. Experiment. Like, I find myself doing my dishes like every day, and I'm just like making weird noises.
Oh yeah.
Impersonations work really well too for me. For example, like trying to do Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
All right.
Help me develop like the deathcore noises that I make. It's insane.
Oh, that.
It's stupid, but
Yeah.
combining things and different techniques and shit for even just imitation with death metal growls, for example, they make such weird noises. It's cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
I perfectly get
I
you.
think that's the main thing that I do, actually, now that I think about it.
I perfectly get you. And
Just making weird noises, combining them with other weird noises, and then we get new weird noises.
Yeah, exactly. You're like just fucking around, because everyone has like a different vocal tract, so everyone has to do different things to sound a certain way. So you just gotta experiment with what you have and see what kind of sounds you can make. And impersonations is a perfect way to do it. Yeah, totally recommend.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like, also about all that stuff and about like not hurting yourself. Do you do anything in special to maintain your vocal cords? Apart from just drinking water and everything, is there any ritual or something?
I warm up before I practice and before I play shows, but other than that, not really. I used to be really big on making tea at the end of my day and then adding honey and all that shit, but I stopped doing that, and I'm just like, it feels the same, so why would I keep doing it?
All right.
Don't really feel much use to it.
If it doesn't work for you, all right. Like for example, myself, I use a lot of tea, yeah, and honey. But it depends a lot on what you do and what feels right for you. But warming up, it's like that's a general thing for everyone. I think like everyone has to warm up at least a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's still a bunch of muscles that you're just working out.
Yeah.
And it works with the same principle. If you don't warm them up and cool them down, which is also really important, what a lot of people also don't do with their voice, cooling down is really important, because Jesus Christ, you'll regret it if you don't.
True.
At least in my experience.
Found that what I used to do a lot in the past was like after a show, people were starting to bring me beer and everything, and I would chug a fucking beer, like
Yeah.
doing that fucking ruins my voice for the rest of the day. Because like
Yeah,
after
I
a show,
can
you're so
imagine.
warmed up on your voice, and you like drink a very cold beer, it ruins your voice completely. I found like it's a lot better to just stay with water for a while after the show, like or tea or something, and then after you've cooled down, then you can go for a beer or something. But because having a cold drink right after a show, oh, that's fucking dangerous.
It,
Yeah.
it is, and before as well. I'm a big Monster fan. Like, I have a can right here next to me already. It's insane. But on days where I have to practice or where I play shows, I stay away from all caffeine because I know it just fucks with my vocals. I cannot keep a single tone if I just have any form of caffeine in my system. It's insane. It's the
Alright.
same with like carbonated drinks, just Coca-Cola, whatever. I tend to stay away from those as well because you get sticky in your mouth with all of the sweet stuff in it.
Yeah.
And it just impedes a lot of possibilities when doing vocals. So it's just water, and never cold water either.
Yeah.
I'm really an annoying cunt now that I think about it when it comes to drinks when I play shows. It has to be water and it has to be room temperature. Other than that, it's fine.
It's when you think about it, it's not that difficult to have water at room temperature. But I don't know. Maybe there are some spots. There are some places that you've played that they always have cold water. That's the problem.
Nah, not really.
Oh.
It just seems like a very specific thing to want everywhere. But I also bring my own bottles always. So.
Yeah. All right. Oh yeah. I usually like ask like I like to have a bunch of stage waters, so I steal all the stage waters for me.
I do that too. I usually steal from my guitar and smell them out.
Yeah.
They hate me. I get it.
Well, usually my guitarist and my bassist they always have beer, so they don't really mind. So I take them. So
Yeah.
good for me.
It's the nice thing with us though. I think all of us don't drink at all when we play shows.
All right.
We just only drink water or like carbonated drinks before or after,
All right.
whatever.
Yeah. You were talking about Coca-Cola. I've seen one or two slam vocalists actually drinking Coca-Cola, like as a stage drink, having like an actual fucking bottle of Coca-Cola, like a 2-liter bottle, and
Jesus.
drink between songs. And I was thinking to myself, are they like using the gas from the drink to help out with the fucking burps or something, the gutturals?
It's very possible. I would
Like the-
twice. It's slam at the end of the day.
Yeah, everything would sound like a burp, so I don't know.
Exactly. You wouldn't be able to tell. It just sounds different, but it still sounds brutal as fuck.
Yeah, like if anyone watching the video, like if anyone knows the reason for that, please be sure to tell me in the comments or something. I'm fucking curious about that. Well, let's go with like the preparation for a live performance. Like we were saying, you do warm-ups, you do water and no alcohol. That's great. But do you have like any other thing, like any routine that helps you like get in the mindset for a show? Because like we've said, you get into a character. So do you have to do something to get in character and everything?
Gosh, I'm very big on meditating just in general. I meditate every day before I go to bed as well. I also journal a lot and all that, but when I meditate at the end of my day, that's also a time for me to try to maintain that mindset of having to be on stage whenever I'm going to be on stage, and to form that character more to what I exactly want it to be. And before a show, I just do the same thing. It's easier to get in that mindset and just slip into it a lot quicker if I do meditate before it as well.
Yeah.
Especially like the days before that we have to go to a show. Like for example, I think in almost exactly 2 weeks we play on Death Feast. I'm fucking stressed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm extremely stressed. I'm always extremely stressed with shows.
Yeah, I understand.
This is gonna be like my 10th show, so it's like I'm the fucking newbie. I have to do it totally right, or it's fucked.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. But then being able to meditate, it does help with getting me into that mindset of like, who fucking gives a shit? I'm gonna slam the stage, and then it's fine.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I was about to say. Like, on studio and everything, we gotta sound perfect vocally. But when you're live, to be honest, I'd say like 70% is about the performance and the charisma you put on stage, and the 30% is the quality of your vocals. So like, you don't really have to stress that much about you. Of course, you gotta sound decent at least, but like if you're not perfectly tight in everything, if you have like a good attitude and a good presence on stage, people are gonna enjoy it just fine. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So that's how and like you were saying, like you're fucking nervous. I feel that a lot too before, but when I get on stage, I don't know what happens. Like I just get
Yeah,
in
it's
the
just
the character. Yeah,
gone.
yeah,
Yeah,
everything's gone.
There's everything except for nervous. It's like I'm gonna make everyone else nervous just listening to me. That's
Yeah.
all that is. At
Yeah,
that point, you're just like, go fuck yourselves. I don't care.
that's the fucking mindset. That's the fucking mindset. Yeah.
Exactly.
Important. Like, and if anyone's watching this and like feels the same thing, yeah, that's you gotta be confident, and when you go on stage, you're gonna forget all that fucking nervousness. You're just gonna feel like a fucking badass up there, because and that's the most important thing, like feeling like a badass and acting like a badass on stage, because people are gonna, like, I don't know, that energy is gonna pass on to the people that are watching you. That's really important. Yeah.
It's very
Cool.
true. That's very true. Because if I think about one of the first shows that I did, well, actually, the first show that I did, I stood there very awkwardly and looking at videos of it, I'm just like, I sound so fucking good, but holy shit, is that a shit show?
Exactly. And it's
Yeah,
it's a lot less
It's like you
enjoyable.
said, presence is like 70%
Yeah.
of what you're doing in a show. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah,
It makes or breaks it.
because in the end of the day, like if you wanna listen to something sounding like exactly like on studio, you're better off just listening to the record. But
Yeah,
if you go to a show, you want to watch like a performance. So like the visual part ends up being almost more important, or even more important than the actual sound. You know, it's a mix. There's a lot of people that sometimes prefer the sound, but mostly, yeah, the performance, the visuals, they have a lot more impact in the live.
yeah. It's really the experience of also being able to interact with the band, like the simple shit, like show me your hammers. You know, people love that. It's amazing. Like
The
you don't
fun.
only get that in live shows. That's not something you're gonna record in an album. Well, you could, but you mostly use it live. You're like
Yeah.
all going at it, fucking heavy ass song. Show me your fucking hammers. Everyone's happy, showing their hammers. It's just a great time all around.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't get that when you just listen to a CD. It's just like, yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
Let me ignore it for the rest of my life.
Dude, yeah.
Or let me turn on Spotify Shuffle and listen to the same 7 songs.
Yeah. Well, speaking about live shows, there's a little controversial question, I'd say. What's your take about cupping the mic?
I'm a bit 50-50 on cupping the mic. It's small venues, do whatever the fuck you want, depending on your mic, of course. If you have like a SM58, the standard issue one, go ahead. I don't care. Like, no one really gives a shit. That's like what we expect when you use a SM58 in a small stage. But bigger venues and different mics, like I use a SCV7, for example, for big stages. It's a super cardioid, so if you cup that thing, it's just a feedback machine. It's
Okay.
fucking hell on earth.
Oof.
In general, I just think if you need to cup, you're either not doing something right, or you're doing like really weird vocals, like inhales, for example. Totally get it then. If you're doing inhales, have at it, really.
Yeah.
It's so quiet usually that you have to cup, otherwise you don't hear shit. But moreover, when you're doing like low vocals, low gutturals, and you have to cup to hear yourself, I'd say work more on your projection more than anything.
True, indeed. Yeah. If you're doing anything that has a lot of projection, cupping in general is unnecessary, and probably more of a commodity. Like you're like you end up getting like addicted to doing it, like the cupping of the mic.
Exactly. I'm still very much trying to unlearn the habit of cupping my mic, because I create a lot of feedback now.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes that happens to me too, but yeah, like only for inhales, and I feel that a lot, because sometimes I perform a song with analepsy, and I do the genetic mutations one, and the original one is done in inhales, and I also do inhales live, and yeah, there I have to do a cup, because the volume is very low, so it helps a lot with sounding a bit louder and helping out with the sound guy, because he's gonna have to raise up the volume. So yeah,
Exactly.
that's probably the only time where I always do cupping, but not like full on, like with both hands cupping the mic. I just have like one hand over the ball of the mic, and usually that's enough. So yeah, like we were saying, like, yeah, cupping can help out, and if you do it like for any special moments in the show, I would say also a good thing. I wouldn't say it's properly a bad thing if you do like that, but if you do like the entire show cupping the mic, I don't know, man, something wrong.
You're either only doing inhales or you're just doing something wrong. Then, in my opinion, it's also really shit for the sound guy because frankly, mics sound like shit.
True.
They just don't sound good. It's as simple as that. They're designed to sound good the way they are. If you're gonna cut them, they just don't sound good anymore.
And the feedback, that's the biggest enemy of the vocalists.
Definitely. Holy fucking shit, I hate it.
Like,
that is the nice thing about standing in front of your stage when you're doing vocals, though. You can cut the mic as much as you want because you don't get as much feedback. You don't have your monitor in front of you anymore.
Yeah.
And you don't have all the instruments really close by either. It saves a lot of effort too.
Like the monitor is a love-hate relationship when it comes to the vocalist because you like to be close to it to hear yourself, but you don't want to get too close because you're gonna get feedback.
That's the thing I've been trying to work around since I've been playing with Human Vivisection, because usually even with monitors I don't hear fucking shit that I say. I don't hear myself at all. I do try to practice with my headphones on, just not full volume but loud enough that I don't hear myself, and then I also record at the same time. So that helps me work on my projection as well as just not hearing myself and basing my vocals on what I feel instead of what I hear. So I just get better sounds all over. Even when I don't hear myself, and we prevent the feedback issue on the monitor.
Exactly. And you were talking about not hearing yourself in the monitors, and that's the thing that I've talked about with some vocalists, and like what I've come to the conclusion is that especially if you become like in like a big band, and you tour a lot, if you don't have in-ears, you're fucked basically. Like for example, like Michael Stein from Dwarf Tranquility, like he told me like the biggest change for him was when he started using in-ears. Like after that, he felt so much more comfortable doing tours, and like he usually had like problems with getting tired in his voice, but after having in-ears, like having like a constant sound that you always hear yourself properly, he was like, nah, no more problems. Fine.
Totally get that.
Like you can go on tour for like 2 months and be fine.
Yeah, we're working on making a somewhat of an in-ear system, because right now we work with a partial one for our drummer and our guitarist.
Alright.
And the rhythm guitarist just follows the lead guitarist on his guitar. We just trust that he's right.
Alright.
But we are looking into getting more equipment for that, and then eventually I'm gonna have in-ears too and be able to hear myself. That would be fucking lovely.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big change for you. I bet, man.
Definitely.
And if you guys like go, because I've noticed like Human Vivisection has been kind of on hiatus, like it's kind of like being stopped for a while. And you guys have been coming back, and if you guys start doing tours in like the next year or something, like you're gonna need in-ears for sure.
Yeah, definitely playing a bunch of different venues, and everyone has a different sound guy, different front of house, usually really shitty sound systems, to be frank. It's better to just have a system that we can rely on ourselves.
Indeed, man.
It's pretty much the case.
And also, like, about the live performances, do you have any song that's your favorite to perform live, and why is that song special for you?
Oh, definitely. In the current set list that we have with Human Vivisection, it's like, I think, the 7th song that we play or something. It's called Vicious Cycle. It's going to be from the next album that we bring out. And it's got like a little part in it where I can just do like autistic snorting, as I like to call it.
Oh.
It's like a deathcore growl where everyone shuts up and I'm just like alone. It's fucking amazing.
Oh, I remember
the only song that's different.
Yeah.
It's the only song where I get to make like weird noises, and I love it.
All right.
It's also the only reason why I love it so much. I just get to make weird noises. It's so cool.
So can we like say that there's gonna be some weird noises in the new album?
Yeah.
All right.
You can.
Amazing.
Maybe not everywhere. It's mostly just gonna be Human Vivisection as it is.
All right.
I'm gonna try to stick with the actual band and not just be like, yeah, I used to make deathcore.
Yeah.
That would just be weird, but it's still gonna be a bit of like Robbie Spice in there.
So I know you as you said, you're kind of a newbie, and but from your vocal journey till now, what kind of challenges did you get, and what did you do to overcome those challenges as a vocalist?
Gosh, I think the main thing that was a big problem for me was getting them consistent to sound the same all the time and to actually sound good. Like we said before, the 3 years of me sounding shit, for example, that was a big challenge. It took me a long time to
Yeah.
get over myself and to figure out how I actually need to sound good and how it should actually feel when it sounds good. Most of what that was just practice. That's all I can say for that. Just practice. If you sound shit and you don't sound the way you want, record yourself, listen to it. If it sounds shit, don't do it again. Do it differently. Record it again and keep going till you get something you like.
Yeah, like you
for
said,
a long time and you get to where you want.
yeah, like you said, recording yourself and hearing yourself in a recording, that's really important to.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely. And try. Don't use any effects or anything. If you have them, don't use them because they're just gonna make you sound better.
Yeah.
And you don't sound good probably. So
Yeah, you're just gonna get like an illusion that you sound good, but not actually.
exactly.
Yeah.
And if you then hear the dry signal, you're like, what the fuck was that?
yeah.
I've done that before. Like it's from experience that I say things like that because I've been the stupid guy who's done that. Like
Yeah, I
think
understand.
both of us have.
Yeah. So, yeah, completely understandable, that kind of challenge. And it's also like about your vocal journey. Do you have like any main influences, like in vocalists, that influenced you as a vocalist nowadays?
I mean, kind of yes and no. Like, I started off with Gojira, like I said. It's Joe Duplante. I fucking love it. He sounds so good, especially with his old stuff. It's very 90s death metal as you'd expect it.
Yeah.
And that's something that really just got me into the whole thing and got me started on it. I tried to sound more like him. It's just basic false chords, nothing too crazy. And then from there on out, I got into heavier genres. Started listening to, for example, Lorna Shore when they came out with To the Hellfire. Like, that's exactly why Vicious Cycle is the way it is. It's because of Lorna Shore with the fucking autistic snorting.
All right.
It's the same. It's the same principle. I love it.
Well, yeah.
Ever since then, I've been getting into deathcore a lot, Chelsea Grin, all of that, working on my fry screams and stuff too. And I think deathcore's been a big part of my vocal journey because I've been covering a lot of stuff like, gosh, what are they called? Black Tongue, for example. That's one of the big ones that I really like.
All right.
Lately, it's been Humanity's Last Breath as well, which is like fall deathcore, a bit of both. Really good as well, especially vocal-wise. And Infinite Annihilator. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! I could listen to Diggy Allen scream for hours.
The vocals on that.
No music, just him screaming. I would
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. The vocals. The vocals
those are like,
Yeah.
those are like really big influences on the vocals themselves. But for example, like my live shows with Human Vivisection, I'm really tame when it comes to vocals there because I only do false chords, like low ones.
Yeah.
And then I do like a weird thing. Well, maybe not that weird, but I just push my the tip of my tongue against the bottom row of my teeth, create a little air bubble under my tongue, so it sounds
Right.
a lot lower. But it's like really shit for articulating words, but it sounds
Yeah.
really fucking brutal live. So it's
Yeah.
it's like a bit of a win and a lose, but that's like not inspired by anyone. It's just like, that sounds cool, let's do it.
Right.
So that's the main thing that I do now.
Yeah, but as you said, like, and deathcore has been like, even though me personally, I'm not as big of a fan of deathcore, but I understand that it became such a big thing, especially when it comes to vocalists, that it brought a lot of content and a lot of awareness to how to do extreme vocals, and it helped a lot of people actually. Yeah.
Definitely.
I can see why. Like most new vocalists nowadays, they saw some tutorial on YouTube and probably was a deathcore vocalist doing the tutorial.
Yeah. Usually.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
Again, Will Ramos is a big one for that. 'Cause
Yeah.
for example, I'm like 21 now. Like this shit is like really in like during the time that I've been getting into metal more. Because I've been listening to like Korn and Gojira since I was like 14 or something, but actually getting into heavy stuff has only been the case since like 2 years ago, if even that long.
Right.
It's ever since then it's just going like
You went down the rabbit hole.
deathcore.
Yeah.
Exactly. A good rabbit hole in my opinion.
Yeah. So, not just speaking about yourself, you're not the big thing all the time. Just kidding. But let's talk a bit about Human Vivisection. Can you tell us a bit more about the future of the band? Like, are there any concerts? I know you told about an album coming. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
For shows right now, we just have 2 shows planned. It's Death Feast in 2 weeks in Germany, which I'm really looking forward to,
Yeah.
and also stressed about. It's a really big thing. There's a lot of cool bands coming too. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
But the next show after that is in Liège. It's Death Over October, I think it's called,
All right.
and it's also pretty cool. Looking forward to that as well. It's the 12th of October, if I'm not mistaken.
Awesome.
That's all the shows we have planned for now. We're still looking for a new drummer, getting some things set up and all that.
All right.
As for a new album, we are in the middle of recording it, like very much so. Like, I think we need a few more tracks from Cedric for guitar, and then it's just bass and my vocals, and I still need to write some lyrics. And
Okay.
then we're done. Then we're bringing it out.
So you're
I
still
have
writing
no
the
clue
lyrics.
when it's gonna come out, but it's gonna come out soon.
All right. So we know you're gonna be the one writing the lyrics correctly.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll probably double check with Roy, and we might change some things
Yeah.
accordingly. So
Yeah.
it'll be both of us doing it. But besides that, it's mostly gonna be me normally.
Is it like your first time doing lyrics?
It's my second time, but it's pretty much my actual first time. The first time I did it was with a different band that I used to
All
play.
right.
It's EDA, but I stopped that, and I'm like, nah, it's a
Yeah,
bit of a
right.
shit project, and then I just finished it because I was like, why not?
So
The lyrics aren't great there.
so I'm really excited to hear what you're gonna put out on the album and actually read the lyrics. So I also write the lyrics myself, so I also like to analyze the lyrics of what other vocalists do. Sometimes also gives me ideas to write stuff.
Totally get that. Big guy that I like for writing lyrics is Charles Caswell from Buried Alive.
All right.
It's a very different type of music, and I don't always like the music, but the lyrics are always so good.
Oh yeah, Buried Alive,
It amazes me.
the famous banjo slam. Like they have the
No clue.
Buried Alive, doesn't it? Aren't
That's
Oh,
a
no.
different one.
no
It's
one gets
Buried
out alive. No one gets out alive. They have like a banjo.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
band.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a different one. It's Buried Alive. That they make songs based on fruits. It's stupid.
Oh, all right.
They have like what do they have? Strawberry Serenity, for example.
What the fuck?
Lime scene. It's insane. It's really technical, stupid shit, and edited to the moon. But I love it.
So we can expect some stupid lyrics then.
I'm not sure about that.
Ah, right. All right.
For Human Vivisection, I try to take it a bit seriously, and I stay within the themes of the actual
All right.
albums.
All right. Awesome, man. So really excited. Like everyone, stay tuned with Human Vivisection. New stuff coming out in the future. That's fucking amazing. So like reaching out the end of the interview now. Last question, man. And the usual question I do to everyone, like, what advice would you give for people that want to start doing extreme vocals? And what kind of recommendations would you give to them?
Gosh, I think the main thing is just go for it and keep going for it. Don't quit, because I'm one. I've quit a lot of times with doing vocals because of other things in life. Like I started playing trumpet when I was like I think 13 as well, and at a certain point I was getting to a level where I was good enough to play a lot more stuff live and get into like little room gigs and shit with a few other people. Just don't quit, really. Just don't quit. Just keep doing it, because it's really worth the effort. It takes a long time to develop a really good and unique sound and to actually get a hold of what you really want. But it is totally worth it, and it's fucking cool. It really is fucking cool.
Yeah.
Especially because a lot of people just suck ass at it, even if they really like.
True.
There's a lot of people that I just hear like, "Oh, I'm a vocalist," and I'm like, "Let me hear something." Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's a lot of clueless people around there that think they know what they're doing, but they don't.
Yeah, exactly. And then sometimes that's just sad, because it's clearly just a lack of practice.
Yeah.
It usually is just like not wanting to practice or not wanting to practice correctly. And a lot of people have a lot of potential. I mean, everyone can do this. Women can do this. Men can do this.
Yeah.
This is not a genetic thing. This is just practice.
Yeah.
It's a big misconception that I hear a lot. Like I've been told that a lot. Like, you have the genetics for it. No, I don't. I actually don't have the genetics for it at all. I sound pretty high in pitch in comparison to most vocalists that do the genres that I do.
Yeah.
You just need to learn to work with what you have and create your own sound.
Exactly.
From there on, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And besides that, it's just what we said before as well. For the routines, it's just warm up, cool down, drink a lot of water, stay away from alcohol and caffeine and sugary shit that you don't need when you're doing vocals, and you'll be fine, frankly.
Exactly. Yeah. I couldn't give a better.
Inspired with music that just goes with everything. If you doesn't matter if you play guitar, bass, drums, whatever you play. Hell, like trumpet. Just be inspired by what you make and by the people that you like listening to.
Yeah, and just don't give up. Most of all, yeah, persist. Yeah,
and have fun.
Yeah,
really have fun.
Yeah.
If you don't have fun, you're gonna fucking hate it.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta have some passion for it. Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, well, that was amazing advice. Like everyone, if you want to start doing any kind of extreme vocals, follow these rules, the basic rules. And if you wanna know about something more in depth, I'm working on a vocal course. I'm gonna release it in the future. So if you guys wanna have more of a custom learning experience, you can reach out to me, and I'll give you more details if you need like that extra help to learn. It's always good and like to avoid hurting yourself when unnecessarily, you know. So like, thank you so much, Robbie. Was amazing. Thank you so much for taking your time. I wish you and Human Vivisection the best of luck in the future. Like, I hope your concert in Death Fest, amazing. I hope it goes well. I hope you get like a big ass fucking mosh pit. That would be fucking amazing. Like,
it would.
There's gonna be a lot more content in the future. I'm gonna release a lot more stuff because I've been working on new gear, you know. So down in the description, I'll leave the links for Human Vivisection so you can check them out, and I'll leave you with a small sample of what Robbie can do live at the end of the video, because me myself, I like to see what the vocalist does live, because in studio you can fake a lot of stuff, so I want to see people live. That's why at the end of every interview I leave a little live video of the vocalist I'm talking to, so you can see like he knows what he's doing. Yeah. So Robbie, thank you so much once again, and see you next time, man. Hope to catch you on stage.
Thank you for having me on, man.
Thank you, man. Bye.
Bye.